Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your screen time. It should go without saying that everyone wants to be successful, everyone wants to achieve things, and recently the stars have aligned and everything that I've been working towards is just like falling into place. And guys, I have to get this off my chest because these are things that I have heard time and time again, and I finally implemented them in the last month and in the last 2 to 3 weeks alone. All of my wildest dreams are coming true. I now have my own LLC. I've been getting emails for collabs. I have been, quite frankly, growing exponentially online. And you see it a little bit here, but it's also on TikTok more so, and also like emails, but I'm not gonna share that with you. And I have to be so honest with you guys, it's really because I made these small incremental changes in my mental, physical, and relationship parts of my life. I'm going to go over them with you today because I'm really passionate about this because people have been reaching out to me and being like, oh, Madison, you're inspirational. Madison, now I'm going to do this because of you. And sometimes when they talk to me, I get this vibe, not everyone, but some people, I get this vibe of, oh, I want to do this, but there's so much emotional baggage around it. And I know that some people, like, it's legit and it's something that's very paralyzing. But if you're like me and you had that for a little bit, but you just use that more as like a shield or a buffer from you actually doing the thing, and you're actually okay, you're just probably a little lazy, like I was. I'm speaking about myself. This is not you, it doesn't pertain to you, so okay, whatever. But if that is you or if it's not you, regardless, what I'm about to share with you guys will help you. You will see changes from it because I sure have, and it's not instant. Nothing good is instant. Just like you don't want a cheap car, cheap house, cheap dopamine. Fast and easy is not sustainable. We are building a house from bricks, not from a 3D printer, okay? Okay. No hate to my 3D printing gang, I love you. Time and place, right? Time and place. Anyways, welcome to Gaslighting Yourself 101, from a non-believer to now full believer and maybe a little psychotic person about it, because I used to be so skeptic about gaslighting and being delusional until, you know, it's like one of those things where you keep seeing the advertisement, for Coke, and you're like, I'm not a Coke drinker, and then at a party you're like, well, why not? You see it enough until you just try it for a hot second. I don't know if that's the best example, but I don't know why Coke just came to my mind. That's because they pay a lot for ads, so that's where my mind first went. But anyways, I saw all this content about be delusional, get what you want. I got what I want because I was being delusional. I think there's a better word for it than delusional, but delusional is a pretty solid word because that's what it feels like, really. And so when I turned 28 in April, I was like, oh my gosh, I do not want to be in my 30s doing a job or pursuing a career path that I really don't like. And what I was on worked for me. I was good at it, people enjoyed my work, and I could see myself doing it forever if I needed to, but I didn't want to. So why was I doing it? But since I was technically unemployed, I was still freelancing, but like freelancing was not enough to replace my income. So I was like, you know what? Let me just fully try this content creation thing. I started making 2 videos a week. I started posting daily on TikTok like a mad woman, just trying everything. I was like, my niche will appear when it wants to. I'm just gonna throw stuff at the wall, okay? And in the last 3 weeks alone, I'm sharing this to show the proof of the pudding, okay? I'm not here to be like, look at me. This is why I'm passionate about this topic of being delusional, because when I became delusional, in under 1 month of work, I replaced my income that I was getting from my other jobs. But Madison, I hear you say, that's all fine and dandy. How do I do the same? Thank you for asking. Here's how. Number 1, we're gonna start with the mind. Everything happens up here. There's a wretched organ that we call the brain that's just a bunch of meat, blood, and neurons, other stuff too. Mitochondria is up there swimming around. This dictates our life, so we really gotta get with it. Number 1, you need to just think it before you believe it. You need to assault your brain, quite frankly, into thinking, I deserve it. Whatever it takes, I will do. If it's working for other people, if it's possible for other people, why not me? And you can mix and match these things too. You don't have to do it constantly daily mantra. That works for some people, but personally, whenever I was just like floating around, maybe bored or seeing things that made me jealous, I just stopped and I went, why not me? They can do it, good for them, why not me? Or if I saw stuff and I was like, oh man, I don't think I could ever get there. You know, I don't think I could have a house or, you know, be in a position where I can fully enjoy life while I'm still young and my, you know, able-bodied. And I thought, yes, I can, I deserve that. I deserve that. I don't deserve to work a job that I hate and makes me sick, you know? I deserve to have friends that love me and I love them and I don't have to worry about, you know, chit-chatting behind my back. I don't have to worry about people that judge me what I make online. And you keep doing that until your subconscious kind of absorbs it or latches onto it, you know, does the Aleso and goes, huh, huh, huh. to those words. Because at first, you're gonna think it up here in your frontal cortex, and you're gonna be like, I deserve this, I deserve this, I deserve this. And in the back of your brain, it's gonna go, no you don't, no you don't. So those things are constantly fighting, but all you have to worry about right now in the beginning is having this being louder than this. And check in on your subconscious thoughts. Don't let them roam free. Don't give in to every negative thought, because that's just gonna make you lose track and go backwards, which is fine. That is the human condition, that is life. But like, we're trying to go the opposite way, right? Number two, and I'm still dealing with this today, obviously, but whenever you face something hard or something that you don't wanna do, you have to trick your brain. You have to not be like, grovel about it and be like, oh, I hate this, because that, at least for me, builds up this resistance, builds up this moat. And every single time you have a negative thought about an action that you want to do or you have to do, whether it's like taking out the trash or needing to edit a video, you have to be like, I'm so grateful I can do this. I'm so happy to do this. This is my work. I'm gonna get paid to make this video. Amazing. Taking out the trash means I won't have a dirty smell in my house. And that just makes it easier and lessens the load mentally to do these tasks that we don't want to do, because that's life a lot. We are pretty much Sisyphus in this situation. We're constantly rolling up that hill of chores and tasks to do. And that's how I've been able to keep up with the things that I really don't want to do. Like making 2 videos a week for YouTube can be daunting, especially when you fill up your calendar. Like, how am I gonna make this video? How am I gonna edit this video? Making the video is pretty easy. Editing is like, oh, at least for me. But I just have to be like, this is it. This is my life. This is what I want to do. If I want to get to Z, I have to do A, B, C, D, to get there. And if I have to do A, B, C, D, I can do it 2 ways. I can do it begrudgingly, where I'm just going A, B, I guess C. Or I could be like, oh my gosh, an alphabet. How cool. A, B, and sing along with the rhythm of life. Also, you're just gonna be more of a joy if you go about life facing troubles and being like, sweet, okay, cool. No one really likes to be around, oh my gosh, there's so much work to do. Yeah, you have to get used to it. Anyways, that's some tough love. Tough love, I know. I need to hear that as well. But literally, perspective is everything. That's like the 2 big mental muscles of gaslighting yourself, right? Also, once you change your perspective of like the goals that you want, once you see it as a plant rather than, I don't know, popcorn, horrible analogy, but stay with me. What people get wrong and what I got wrong first about manifestation was thinking that it works like that. Phones, technology, instant gratification has tainted us to such a huge degree that I feel like, at least my generation, myself, we give up way too easily on things before the time is right. And listen, I've been making videos for 4 years. I've been doing this for a long time, and only in the recent weeks have things like turned into a full-time income for me. And that is because of all the other mental things and also life, and you know, it's a full life situation cocktail that I'm dealing with here. It's not just one thing. But there is a very strong correlation between thinking right, treating my body right, which we'll get into, and being around the right people, another topic we'll touch on. Once all those things got in alignment, life just took off. And those all took time, because we're constantly being like, we think we need to be friends with this person, we think we need to hold on, we think that it's okay to have multiple cheat days in a row, talking about myself. We think it's okay to have processed food. We think it's okay to sit on our butt all day. We think it's okay to let jealousy just take over our life. No. Those things are constant, like up, down, like a stock market, if you will. But as we see in the bird's eye view of the S&P 500, it goes up over time. Plus, you don't really want a stock that goes major up one day, because you know what's gonna happen? It's probably gonna like quadruple that on the way down. Sustainable growth is how you get there. And with all this manifestation and delusional talk we're talking about, that takes time. Months, if not years. And there are people that you can change overnight. That's not the case for everyone. And I don't want you to get down on yourself if it's not happening like that for you. I do believe you can change your life very fast, but people who highlight that often forget all the groundwork that they did prior. That groundwork is needed and is just important. And instead of going into multiple little tangents about the mind, those are the biggest things that have changed my life and changed my way of thinking. The next thing that really matters is your physical health. Everybody and every body is different. So what I'm going to talk about anecdotally is what I needed to do. I'm not saying this is what you need to do. So with that out of the way, full context in my adult life. I graduated, then COVID happened. I got so depressed during COVID, like a lot of people. It's not a unique story, but that made me get into a lot of bad habits, like not moving, overeating. And that made me really uncomfortable in my own body. And that's not to say I didn't think I was attractive. I've always believed I was a certain level of attractive. Like, no matter how much I weighed or what I looked like on the outside, I always carried myself like, you know, I'm the girl. But when I tried on clothes, I was like, well, that's not how I see myself in here. And when your mental image of yourself and what you actually look like on the outside doesn't match, that does something to you. And for me, it didn't motivate me to get out of bed and to change my habits. It made me stay in bed. It made me lay down and not move at all. And it really took a lot of mental work, I'm gonna be so honest with you guys, to get to the point where I started to research about the right foods to eat and how much we should actually be moving in a day, which turns out is a lot. And while I was getting healthier, what I didn't realize is that the more healthy I got, the better I felt, the more confident I felt showing up. Not just online, just like hanging out with people, going outside, going places in general. I didn't realize how much I was hiding away because I didn't feel right. And now looking back, it makes sense. It's like, well, duh. But once you get healthy, once you feel good in your skin, it is truly amazing how much you're willing to do. Now, I'm not saying that I have the perfect body. I'm not saying that I have the perfect health. I'm not saying anything like that. When you're trying to level up somewhere or trying to go to the next phase of life, it's very hard, but not impossible. It's going to be a lot harder if your physical self is not also getting leveled up. Also, when it comes to food you eat, find what works for you, okay? Everyone is different. Again, for me, I'm a vegetarian and I eat whole foods. Really don't like processed foods because of the way they make me feel. I eat a little bit of processed stuff here and there. You can't escape it ever, especially in the USA. When you're traveling a lot, like I have been in van life, it's really hard to eat whole foods, especially if you don't have a big fridge or like a lot of food space. So moving back home and being in one spot for a long period of time, I've actually been able to live like a normal person and be in full control of my diet at home. And I'll try to say this in a few words, but essentially ever since I started eating whole foods and really making that the majority of my diet, if not my whole diet, my energy levels have changed. I am less tired. I have a lot more energy. I have a lot more willpower. I'm happier. It's less all the benefits that you're looking for in quick fixes like pills or fad diets or fill in the blank, anything that people are like trying to actively sell you that's not just fruits and vegetables and meat for other people, you get that from just eating whole foods. This is going to be the most hippie thing you ever hear me say on this channel, but the earth gives us everything that we need, okay? Okay. And obviously I mean that generally, like there's stuff that we do need from science. And I say the most controversial topic for last, relationships. No matter where you are in the course of life, the people that you surround yourself matters, because duh, you eventually become who you hang around. And as much as you love somebody, as much as you want someone in your life, if they're going down a path or they're becoming a person that you don't want to be like, I would just suggest spend less time around them. You can still love them, of course, and you can still, you know, be a friend, but guys, I don't know. Again, I'm probably not going to say this in the most articulate way possible, even though I'm trying to. And as soon as I make this video, I'm going to think of more points to talk about, but I have seen over the last, really all this year, that I am who I hang around. And the more I hang out with positive people, the more positive I become. And the more I'm around people that are just very down on themselves for random reasons, like reasons that you could literally jump over, like a puddle. Those puddles start becoming lakes and start becoming rivers and start becoming oceans for you if you keep hanging around them. And again, I feel bad because we shouldn't discard people. People and friends, especially friends, are not meant to be discarded. But what happens when I become a person who sees the world as a place full of opportunities and becomes a very positive place, and yet my very good friend is seeing it negatively and seeing it as there's just a bunch of doors being shut in their face? Now, I will say, don't ditch someone just because they're having a few bad days or a month or a year. Right? We're supposed to be there for our friends. We're supposed to support one another. I'm talking about the people you just know. This is the way they are. And they kind of enjoy the darkness. And they kind of enjoy being in a rut. Once you clock that, like you can give them so many resources. You can be so positive. But if they're not trying to level up or trying to go in the same direction as you are in the form of like, I guess, consciousness or just like how you see the world, there has to be some degree of separation. Otherwise, you can try to influence them as much as possible, but unbeknownst to yourself, you're going to adopt their beliefs back here, which is going to seep into the front until it becomes a belief. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not saying ditch everyone that's not like you. I'm not saying don't be around people that don't think the same way as you. I'm saying like the people that you decide to spend the most time with need to be positive. Especially, okay, if you want to go places, you can hang out with anyone, right? But in my case, I want to go to be in successful, positive land. That looks different for everyone. I'm not saying if you're a doctor, only hang out with doctors. I think that's kind of boring. If you're a theater person, just hang out with theater people. That's psychotic. I can say that because I've been there. Hang out with people that see the world the same way as you do. I'm not talking politics. I'm not talking religion. I'm talking about being with people who are uplifting, have the personality traits that you want for yourself. But regardless, you're gonna have to be a little bit more intentional with the people that you hang around. And everyone's situation is different, so I can't give you the full rundown. It's just, if the vibes are not right, don't go back. Be nice about it, be amicable about it, but like, you have got to be in people who are more aligned with you. And I think alignment is the biggest word for this year. I know if you saw my last video, I was like, 2025 is a year of shamelessness. That's true. But in my day-to-day life, in what's going to inform my choices, is it in alignment with me? Is this actually what I want to do? Or is this what I think I need to do? Or these are the people I want to be around? Or these are the people I think I need to be around? Because success is not just like, oh, someone achieved this award, someone got, owns this business. Success for me is being free and living a good life, living the life that you want, and being positive, because you can have those two things. But if you're, a sucker to be around, I don't know, I don't want to hang out. And for those who are watching, I saved the best thing for last. As soon as I detached from the results, as soon as I was like, this is what I want, and I'm going to get it, and I didn't have this desperate energy, it started coming. And to the degree that I had no, comprehension, I was not prepared for the blessings. Well, really, I can joke about it, but I was not prepared for getting those things as soon as I was like, it's gonna happen. And it's not on me to track it down. It's for me to be open to it. It appeared on my doorstep. I went, oh, thank you, universe. And I took it inside, and it's right on my wall, metaphorical wall in my brain. It's just crazy because, which is just so paradoxical, because in order to want something, you need to want it. But you can't want it too much, or else it just seeps through your hand like sand. I don't know how to describe it, but detachment is like the biggest secret into getting the things. Again, I'm not the best person to talk about the full concept of detachment. I just know to tell people, detach. Detach from the results. Go after the results, be diligent, work hard, of course, but when it comes to it mentally, just, it's gonna happen. You just believe it's gonna happen, and then go do it. I just started getting a bloody nose. I don't know what type of omen that is. Anyways, make sure to turn in your homework by the end of the week. I'll be expecting it, and you'll get your grades at the end of the month. Stay tuned for the next class segment. I'm gonna make more of these because I like being a little teacher to you guys. Anyways, until the next one, bye.